video, we will be going over the coronary arteries and veins. So, first things first, we know that the O2 blood travels through the aorta and goes through these three branches in order to supply the body with oxygen. Yet, we also need to know that it needs to supply the heart because it's also an organ and a muscle that keeps us alive. There are two arteries that branch out from the aorta. One is the right coronary artery, and it goes back to the posterior side. The left coronary artery, however, it branches off into two. The one that is branching off to go to the posterior side is called the circumflex coronary artery. How I remember that is it flexes itself to go through the back as far as it can. The next artery is called the left descending artery because it goes down. For the right side of the heart, there's one that's also gonna go down, and that is called the right marginal artery. So now we are in the posterior side. The posterior side meaning it's the back side of the heart. So now this side is the right atrium, the right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. Since now we're at the back, the one that is now the descending artery is the right coronary artery. So now it's gonna go down. See how that it flipped? Because the one from the anterior view was the left descending artery. Now it's the right. On the left side, the one that went around was the left circumflex artery. So now on the posterior side, it goes horizontally and it also descends. Things to know. What are those red arteries? Those red arteries are the O2 blood that releases off to the muscles, which are called the myocardiums, on the left and right atrium and ventricles. And how does it release the blood? It releases the blood as the heart relaxes. That is the process called diastole. Now let's look at the actual heart. So the arteries are the red. This one is the left coronary artery, and this one is the right coronary artery. The one that goes down is the right marginal artery, the very long one. This one goes down, and that is the left descending artery, and the one that goes around is the left circumflex artery. Now this one is the posterior side of the heart. This one is the left circumflex artery. This one is the left marginal artery. This one is the right coronary artery, and it then descends down, which is called the right descending artery. Now let's talk about veins. Veins are the ones that carry deoxygenated blood back to the right atrium. Now, which vein carries back the deoxygenated blood? Well, it's the coronary sinus. It's going to be right at the top of the circumflex, of the left circumflex artery. So let's color this in. It's not perfect, but it's going to wrap around this side as well. Now, there are other veins you need to be aware of. This one is the small cardiac vein. It's a very skinny vein that loops around the right atrium. The next one is the middle cardiac vein. It's gonna go right next to the right descending artery. The next one would then be the posterior vein. Well, it's only going to be at the posterior side. Posterior meaning the back side. So this one is just gonna go right next to the left marginal artery. So that's what you need to remember as of right now for the posterior side of the heart. Now here's the actual anatomy of the posterior side of the heart. This one, this big chunky vein, that is the coronary sinus. The coronary sinus needs to have all the deoxygenated blood in order to go back to the right atrium. It's not clearly shown here, however, there is a small cardiac vein which I shown in the simplified version. The one that goes right next to the right descending artery is the middle cardiac vein. The one right here, that one is the posterior vein. Now we are in the anterior side of the heart. Now we're going to talk about the great cardiac vein. The great cardiac vein is connected to the coronary sinus. So the coronary sinus and the cardiac vein will meet here, and then this great cardiac vein will go right next to the left descending artery. Let's draw some veins right here. It may not be perfect, but it's the best that I can do. The other veins on the posterior side, they will also loop around. The small cardiac vein will pop up right here and go down. And this one, remember how earlier it was the posterior vein? Now it is called the anterior vein. So it's gonna pop up also right here, and it will just go around as so. Just to let you know, the anterior vein is not connected to the coronary sinus. However, it also drains to the right atrium. Now let's actually look at the anatomy of the anterior side of the heart. This one right here, the one that descends, that is the great cardiac vein. Great cardiac veins are blue because they're deoxygenated blood. The one right here, that is the small cardiac vein. The one that also goes at the very top, these veins, those are the anterior veins.